Last week, the State Budget Committee approved a new test that requires high schoolers to pass a civics exam in order to graduate.
While it still needs approval, teachers and students are bracing for change. Rock County reporter Velena Jones has the details.
The committee's proposal would require students to pass a portion of the U.S. citizenship test to graduate high school. And while students may think of it as just another test, their teachers have other concerns.
We've been talking about industrialization.
Lyman Elliott has been teaching students at Beloit Memorial High School history and government for the last 9 years.
The civic mission of schools is already happening. To put just this test into it will reduce. It's kind of a reductionist approach to education and civics education. It's a narrow definition of what it means to be a citizen.
Now, under a proposal by the legislators' Joint Finance Committee, a student's high school diploma could depend on how well they paid attention in civics class.
I think that this is going to have a lot of unintended consequences. It sounds good on the surface, but it's going to require a lot of fleshing out before we can really evaluate if this is a worthy piece of legislation that will have any of the intended outcomes for our students.
But for students like senior Fred Martinez, it's the push he thinks his classmates need.
A lot of kids don't really take our American democracy classes seriously when they probably should, because it's important to be informed Americans.
Martinez is now preparing to study court law at UW, a dream he knows not everyone has, but a knowledge of government he hopes all students will have before graduating.
For me, it was just all about being informed, and because I don't want to go into the public and be clueless. I want to make it seem like I can make an impact in the community.
If the proposal passes, students in public, charter, and private voucher schools will have to answer at least 60 out of the 100 questions of the test required for U.S. citizenship to graduate. Students would be able to retake the test until they pass.
It goes beyond inconvenience. It's just poor instructional practice. Shouldn't we be using that time for training them rather than looking at them and saying, are you trained?
In Beloit, Velena Jones, WISC News 3.
Now, again, this item added into the state budget proposal. It still has to be approved by both the state Senate and Assembly. Then it'll go to the governor for his signature.